Welcome to Café is for Closers, the show where sales stops feeling salesy. I'm Andres Mego, and every week we break down real conversations, real objections, and real wins so you can turn pressure into partnerships and close more deals the right way. So grab your coffee, aka your café, and let's jam. It never gets old. What's up, Jory?
So good. What's up? What's poppin'?
Welcome to the party. Guys, we have a very special interview today. I'm here with the badass Jory, who I'm actually here in Colombia. Jory got to visit a couple weeks ago, spent some time with us here. So we're going to take a few minutes. We're going to talk about Jory's journey, kind of her experience working with us, what she learned, what she's had to go through, and share a little bit about the whole ups and downs of the sales game. Jory, if you want to take 30 seconds, just, tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Ultimately, who am I is such a loaded question, but I ended up into this space because I've been in the entrepreneurial world for a while now. So I had my own business. I got very burnt out in that, got sold the dream of high ticket sales, 4-hour work weeks, by the pool, by the beach. And I was like, that sounds so amazing in a New York winter. That sounds the best time ever. Like, how hard could this be? And landed in it. It's a little bit of a drug. I feel like you kind of get addicted to like the highs and the low aspects of it. And now I'm here and I'm doing the thing.
That's such a great intro. All of that is so accurate. It's so true. So we've been working together since what? Like, was it November?
October.
That's what I thought. October. How long have you been in the high ticket space in general?
Outside of my offer or like outside of my business?
Outside of your business, just in the sales.
Yeah, so I got into it very lightly. I would say March of 2025, June of 2025, I started having these thoughts of like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I really have to like actually do it. Like, I can't kind of one foot out it. By September 2025, I was like fully in. Drank the Kool-Aid.
You're relatively new before we found each other.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, you were
in your first 6 months.
Yeah, first 6 months, and actually I had a conversation with my mom before I invested in you, and I was like, I think that, listen, like, this is gonna be the last like Hail Mary that I'm gonna do. I'm like so tired of investing in myself at this point in time. I've done it like every 3 months at that point for the span of a year, and I was like, if this gets me nowhere, if I'm making $0 by December, I'm cool. I'm gonna like just figure out something else I need to do.
Oh, wow. What'd your mom say?
Mm-hmm. She said, send me the call recording that Andreas does of your call review. And I'm just curious, like, obviously whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do. And I sent it to her and she was like, it's funny, actually, off the bat, she was like, I don't know, he did this like thing that I didn't really like, but his feedback was really good. And I can't remember what it is that you did, but I never picked up on whatever she picked up on. And I was like, yeah, you just don't get it. Like, you just don't get it. He's great. He only works with girls. And so we had this whole conversation around it. And I actually said this to somebody the other day where I was like, either Andres is like an absolute creep and he's just like out here to literally just like creep on women. And that's what he's doing. Or he's like a genuine guy who just wants to like help the girlies. And I guess I'll find out either way.
Okay, cool. We're going to pause and we're going to cut that out. But everything else is great.
But I figured it out. And it was good. And you're not a creep. So I feel like that's the best part. I feel like don't cut that out. You're not a creep.
Sick. Thanks. And so your mom gave us the approval. You had invested in a few different programs. One of them, which was like, hey, let's break into the industry, right?
Yeah. So yeah, essentially.
Okay. Cool. And so you came. We met, or we started working together in October. And so before you jumped in with me, what were you averaging commissions?
I think I was like 3 to 5K because I wasn't doing it full time. So this is my thought. It's like, if I'm going to do this full time, I might as well just like really actually figure out how to do it versus like taking some very high level information and trying to go from there.
So when did you go full time?
September, and I started working with you in October.
September full time. Then up until September, you're averaging 3 to 5K a month. we started working together in October. And then what did you end? What was your biggest month after that?
So my biggest month was December, which was a 20K month.
December was a 20K month.
But October was when I started working with you, I dialed in a lot of things with my script and the offer that I'm on. And so October, I went from like a 3K projection to 8K just in that.
October, you went, oh, wow. Okay. And then what did you do in November?
We're not going to talk about that. That was Bali.
Oh, Bali. Oh, we got to talk about that. Yes, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So you came in, we helped you go from 3K, 8K. November was a dip. And then December, you hit your first 20K month.
Yeah. So it's like 3K, 8K, 5K, 20K.
Cool.
And then I've gone from, I haven't dropped below 10 since then.
So you've been averaging 10K. And that's what's really
10,
important.
10 to 15, 10 to 12.
10 to 15. Like 10. Okay. That's what's important too. It's like easy to be like, have one big 15, 20K month and then dip. But if you can stay consistent above 10K a month, right, that's really what, starts to change your life financially, because you actually have money that you're putting away, keep investing in yourself. Like your nervous system isn't out of whack all the time. So I guess for you, outside, like, we'll come back and we'll talk about Bali, because I think that's a good thing to talk about for reps. But what were some of the biggest changes that you remember us doing together that really helped you, 3-4x your commission?
Yeah, so I think my experience is a bit different because I haven't come on to like a fully dialed in offer. And I think that what we have worked on a lot is like, okay, how can we help dial the systems so that then that's obviously benefiting me? So I think that's been a big aspect of it, is like, how can we actually create these revenue generating, how can we use the time to generate revenue, create these experiences inside of these offers that are doing that? On the skill set side, I know I've learned how to have more just emotionally intelligent conversations that actually lead to quality, which then lead to results. I think that I started to have this perception that every conversation I had needed to just like sell somebody something. And realistically, what I've learned with like working with you is like, our goal is to like benefit people. And so how can we go through these conversations in a way where they can find benefit and they can have benefit from what it is, be it that they buy from you or not, because the changes are not always in that purchase.
Yeah. The detachment there as well. I think that's huge. Okay. And so I remember like we first dialed in your script because we had to have like some consistency. Then we helped you like, I think we dived into objections, I believe, or was it or your discovery, because you were on the offer selling to med spa owners.
Yeah. So I came on that with no script. We created a script so that we could have a process that we could decide what was working or not working. I think that was really massive to just have a benchmark of like what's going on. And then from there, actually what it was identity shifting people and how to help them have that identity shift and go through that conversation.
I do remember that. For the business owners.
Yeah, for the business owners, which like as soon as we worked on that, the next 3 sales I had were like 15K sales back to back to back.
Yeah, badass. We love that. Yeah, it's funny. Like sometimes people are like, "Oh, it's a B2C conversation. Like, don't bring up identity." And it's like, it doesn't matter. Like there's always another level that they can play at to get different results. Okay, and so I'm curious for you, like, you've now average like 10 to 12K minimum a month. Highest month has been that 20K month. But you also did something that, we all get it, not all, but a lot of us got into this industry to have the lifestyle and to travel. And so the second month with me, you went to Bali and you were on this upward trajectory, and Bali kind of like knocked you down. What was it about that you think like, really affected your performance?
Yeah. I'm going to say Bali is one of the best places in the entire world if you are not working US hours. And I think that I'm not young. Like I like my sleep. I need to sleep. I enjoy that. And I was working like just such a reverse time schedule that I felt like my brain couldn't even, like, you have to be like mentally, physically, emotionally in the conversation and in the sale and in what you're doing. And I couldn't do any of this stuff to like level set myself. So I feel like every call I was going into, every meeting I was going into, I was bringing on a setter at that time, trying to train a setter. Like there was a lot of moving pieces that were going on, and I didn't have stable consistency across. And then on top of that, I was working midnight to 7 or 8 a.m., then trying to have like a day and then sleeping a little bit and going. So it just was like, Bali's great. Everybody should go, but great if you're working Aussie hours, great if you're working UK hours, great if you're not on a 12-hour flip.
Yeah. I remember that I tried working in Japan while I was there for a week, and it was it was difficult. And
But what I will
think,
say, sorry, what I will say on that is that because of the systems that we set up, it's not like I didn't make any money in November. Like I still had a bad month, and that bad month was still 5K. So the fact that I was able to like live the lifestyle that was sold and make a little bit of money, you know,
amazing.
There's worse things in the world.
Oh yeah, I mean, you still made 5K, which was like your bigger month before.
Exactly.
And just to do that on like the lower end. But I think that the reason I wanted to talk about that is because, the lifestyle is, I think, for a lot of us why we got into this. But you also have to be willing to sacrifice, right? There's going to be periods. Oh, you're good. There's going to be periods of sacrifice, right? And for everyone, it's in the beginning. That might mean like you might not be able to travel where you want to go for a short period of time, or you might have to like cut back on social activities in the beginning. But if you're willing to do that, and you learn the skills and you get to a consistent level, you have systems in place, you can back your skill set, then you'll be able to enjoy more travel more consistently, even if it means maybe not Bali while you're on a U.S. offer.
And I think even to your point on that though is like, if you don't have systems in place to hold yourself accountable, to know what you need to do, to continue to build your skill set, to continue to challenge yourself, no matter if you're working US hours in the US, you're still going to have a struggle. It's like if you don't have these things, like you're working for yourself at the end of the day. And a lot of people, I feel like, go into this industry and have never worked for themselves. And so if you don't have a community around you that is like-minded, that is challenging you, that you can have these conversations with, that you can create some semblance of stability around, it doesn't matter if you're working 16-hour days in your house in New York, or if you're working 16-hour days in Colombia. If you don't have a base of a community that can support you through that, it's going to be really hard either way.
Yeah, we talked about kind of like how we work together and the things we've done, but it sounds like you got a lot of accountability being in the community. What were some other things that you really got from just being a part of like the cafe community?
Oh man, the best people that I've ever met. I think I can say that time and time again. Like I think that whether it's the community attracts or you attract, it's just a very specific type of person, and everybody inside of that community is in such a growth mindset. And I've been in other communities, I've done other programs where that's not the case, where you get in that valley of despair, and you're like, then they're like the bad apples in the whole community, and then you have yourself thinking like, is this even a right opportunity? Where I feel like the people, the conversations, the challenges, the access, like just the different points of views, just the like-minded individuals, like people are always wanting to be, nobody in your community is like okay being like in the middle or like at one level. Everybody's always having this growth mindset, whether it's a skill set, whether it's something they're trying to overcome, whether it's different connections, what they're trying to up level to. And I think that's just important in general.
Yeah. It's like, we that saying, you're an average of the people, like the 5 people you spend the most time around, right? Like there's no excuse that you could be surrounded by bums anymore when you can just tap into an online community and be around people that are actually wanting to change your life and hit their goals, make a lot of money. That's one of the biggest things I appreciate about the community, because while I lead the community, you guys all also make it what it is. And just like it is, I mean, I've probably invested like 70 grand in sales training. We have the most active community, I think, out there, which is really special. So to kind of bring this all to to an end, I guess here, if someone is considering working with us, thinking about jumping in, because you've been in a bunch of different programs, what's something that you'd share with them?
Don't be a prospect. Like, just do it. Like I don't know if like how possibly can you try to like be in a position where you are trying to hold people accountable, you're trying to shift lives, you're trying to shift identities, you're trying to do all these things, and you don't want to do that for yourself. So if that's the case, like maybe just don't invest in anything. But if you actually like want to make the waves, you want to make the growth, you want to see the incomes that you want to see, there like just give the card. I think I even gave you an objection. I think that's even what the funnier part of this whole thing is. I gave you an objection when I came in. I was like, yeah, I'm just waiting on my card. And you were like, cool, we can end the call right now. And I was like, no, it's okay. Actually, we'll just put it, let's start it and I'll just like.
I do remember that. I do. All of a sudden, you had all this cash somewhere else,
yeah.
you know?
Which is valid, but I think that if you're looking for growth, you're looking to be challenged, you're looking for the skill set, but you're looking to like grow personally. I think that's also been my biggest win working with you, is that I spent 2 months at home and my parents said to me like verbatim, you are an absolute different person than you were last time we saw you, because of the way you're able to hold conversation, the way you're able to actively listen to people, like not aggressively challenge. Like there's a lot of things that I've developed as a person that I will say time and time again, like me 10 years from now will be so grateful for the fact that I did this, because I've developed immensely. I know, you're like my dad.
Oh, sales dad. I can't wait to meet your real parents.
I know, they're pumped. I talk about you every day, so.
Yeah, they probably just hear me all the time. Well, thank you for sharing. Like that's really what lights me up, is like hearing like the real behind it, right? Like, because the money you make is a just byproduct of who you become to command that, right? Like who you are now, who can negotiate, you, Jory, who can negotiate, who has boundaries, who knows how to like communicate, who knows how to influence, like that is who makes $10, $12, $20,000 a month. And that's why you're making, the money that you are. So I want to acknowledge you with that. Thank you for coming on. Any last nuggets that you'd like to share before we wrap up?
Last nuggets would be, yeah, I think I can just really end it on just don't be a prospect. Like if you just don't do that, just don't be a prospect. Your worst objection that you're going to get is the same objection you have. Might as well figure out how to overcome that now, so you can be like a better person in every area of your life and make more money and go to Colombia and meet amazing people and just continue to like up level yourself.
And then tell your parents, hey guys, the internet stranger that I've been talking to the last couple months, I'm going out to Colombia to hang out with them.
I'm gonna go hang out with all these internet people that like, I'm a 90s kid. You're not supposed to meet people on the internet and go like meet them in person. It's like the number one rule that they like drilled into our heads as 90s kids. Like, don't do that. I was like,
we love that. And now you got lifelong friends. Jory, thank you for coming on. Yeah. Guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for hanging out on Cafe is for Closers. Be sure to subscribe to the show to never miss out on a conversation. See you next time.